Hello everybody, welcome back to the pYanodons playthrough. It's your ghostified gamer. I'm thinking about changing my moniker, kind of a rebrand, the fantastic Mr. Ghost. I think I like that. I like the ring of it, you know? Because, you know, I try to do fantastic things here on the channel with pYanodons and other games. Welcome back. Okay, well, I'm surrounded by machines, but we're not going to be working on this stuff today. I've got a lot of prep work done, a lot of brain work done between episodes here. This is the bake light. Once we get that done, and this is not, I could work on this anytime, but we don't it's no point, we don't have to work on it now because we need the etching solution for the printed circuit substrate tier 2. So we need the etching solution, then we can work on the bake light for the phenolic board. And then then this major piece of our circuit board, you know, the complex circuit is done. And then we're over to these crazy things here. I think we've got, where is that? Oh, this piece. Yeah, we got to work on this one here. I'm going to pull these over here because they're kind of out of the way. Because this will be, maybe, I don't know if I'm going to work on this next. Not that one, but the MOSFET. So let's pull, oh, no, I'll leave that one there. I want to leave that one there. All right, this one might be next. Well, you know what? No, because this is a crazy one. Yeah, we have to do the PN and the lightly N and P and the heavy N. Okay, it's heavy N. So these three are going to be kind of a big project. And I discussed how I want to do the silicon wafer that's general and belt it to these three and leave something at the end for an additional build. So when we unlock the heavy P-doped later, we can just add it on, hopefully. Well, I'll have to look at the recipe before I do that and commit. But I'm going to probably use a dual block and go and build like the Paragons. I'm going to build across and not, I don't want to be restricted because I want to be able to build. Because we're going to have the Nisei, we're going to have silicon carbonate. I think I'm just going to build these within because I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And we have everything else, so that's good. So, yeah, this one's going to be oh, God, don't get me started. Okay, now, so, yeah, we'll work on the bake light. Then, after the Xyhiphoe stuff, we'll work on the bake light, the printed circuit substrate 2, and then I think we'll have to do the MOSFET. And then we can knock out these things, the diode, the microchip, transistor, and the toroidal inductor. Cool. All right, let's talk about the sap extractors. I went on the Discord. I found out that the recipe is not being recognized, and I asked, you know, someone came along. Yeah, it sucks. You know, I can't get it. Won't work. King Arthur, who's one of the mod devs, said that you can come into here, go into Hell Mod, and pick the sap extractor, I guess, and then use modules, I guess, in the beacons. But the problem is there's no module available here. So I don't know. I think maybe he wasn't, I don't know, he wasn't looking at it or something like that. Because what you should see is something like this, where there's modules here, and then you pick the beacon that you're going to use, whether it be vanilla, the beacon. This is the first the higher end beacon. This is the diet beacon. So I don't know why. I would just, I don't know. The diet beacon seems kind of, I don't know what. These better be the same footprint, you know, as the regular vanilla beacon, so you can easily swap them out and not have to redo your whole build. But yeah, you should see this module thing here. I think that's what he was talking about, is use a productivity module, but I can't. There's no option for it because there are no slots for modules in that machine, so that doesn't work. What I'll have, so it's just basic it's basic napkin math. This is a 55% productivity over the non-technology upgrade version. So what I found was that we're not saving much by taking that tech. And the other two was water, then pressurized water, then pressurized air, or something. I can't remember the other ones. I'll have to look at it, but I don't think we're getting much bang for our buck on the sap extractors. It's a 55% productivity, and I misspoke last time. I was saying doubling. It's not doubling. We're getting a half of a 55% more sap per craft. So every 2 crafts we get 1. There's that 1 that pops up, the extra sap. But the trade-off of, okay, now I can reduce my footprint on the sap extractors, but I'm having to add the pressurized air machines, which is the same power draw. And from what I see, these are a 1-to-1 almost. The pressure pump is, I think, 20 air every second or something like that. And the sap extractors are 150 every 20 seconds. So it's about 1-to-1, right? I'm not gaining anything in power consumption. I'm not really gaining anything. I reduced my sap extractor footprint, and it simplified the build a little bit because now I can run these pressure pumps on the back side and have the output inserters on the other side. So it's kind of nice. Removed a few inserters, a few belt, replaced it with pipe. So I don't really see a benefit here other than a cleaner footprint. You know, I don't know. If you can see something with this, let me know. But I converted all of the sap extractors that I tried to mark them all. If I missed one, I'll find it eventually. So that's done. Right here, where the tailings consolidation area is, I went ahead and added a tank of acid gas because it backed up. Yeah, this tank filled up and then it backed up, so I had tailings sitting here, 75,000 tailings sitting here, and basically it's wasting it. Well, I want to keep the acid gas. I don't want to waste the tailings because I need the acid gas so we can do the wyanodons. So I added a tank, and I got about, extra 30,000 now in there. And I noticed that the tailings were not being produced. I'm like, wait a minute, why is this less than 70,000 here? Oh, because the acid gas backed up. So I kind of modified this a little bit so we can start stockpiling the acid gas. This stop is going to come out, and I'll use this tank to stockpile some arthropod blood here because we're going to need that for the wyanodons. The blue liqueur I have stockpiled here will be processed once we get to this part. This is the etching solution here. And I have the key items that we're going to need here. The ammonia we're going to try to produce from the urea, which will be from the wastewater once we get the Xyhiphoes up and running. So we'll have some wastewater from that. We'll produce some ammonia. Hopefully it'll be a good cycle, and if I have to, I will have a bleed off valve just so it doesn't back up. So we have to bring sulfuric acid, anthracene oil, and the phosphoric acid in, and then we need to bring iron oxide, nickel plate, and lard. That's what that's there for. Over here, I did a little bit of a change to this. Now we're pulling the blood meal out and doing that off site because we're gonna need it for other things. Well, I decided over here is where I'm going to do the blood meal, and I'm going to do the albium as well, because we're pulling the blood and the fiberboard over here. Well, I already have blood, so let's just do the albium here. And we need blood for other things, so I don't want to build the blood stuff here at our body parts collection area, because we need the blood for the the artificial blood and the animal sample. So we don't want to take all of our blood away and process it on site to those 2 items, because there are other things we need it for. Now we'll finish up with this project here that we're going to work on. So this is where I'm going to cut a lane in right here, a stop, or a 4-to-2, and then we'll process our Xyhiphoes here. I don't know why I got steam here. I can't remember why. I don't recall anything needing... I don't see anything that needs steam, unless I'm missing something. I don't need it for the albium. I don't know why I put the steam generators here. So what we're going to do is bring in the bone meal, fish food, filtration, and albium for all this stuff here. We need the fish food and filtration and phytoplankton for these. The phytoplankton will be its own stop because it's a fluid. It's easier to manage it that way. So now we'll slaughter them and we'll get the shells out of them now. Okay, so we're gonna have something that's we're gonna pull the shells out, and this whole process here, it looks like it's gonna be more manageable now that I pulled the blood meal and the albium out, because it's just one extra machine that I have to deal with. So I'm better off training that stuff in here, which is gonna work out, I think. And then I extended the rail out. I pulled up the pull off here and pushed it down, so we should have room. Now, if I pull this stop out here, I'll have room for, maybe I could put the slaughterhouses right here and then just pipe it right on in to this, so the slaughterhouses can go in place of the stop. That's what I'm hoping to do there. Okay, now, so we got that covered. I modified the body parts collection area to include, which is right here, to include the shells now. So the lard was only one thing coming out of there for the lard. So now I have shells and lard, and the belt will still prioritize to this side here, and it'll go up to our biomass processors if there is a backup. Now, lard and shells being on the same belt, we'll have to see how that goes. But you know, I'm kind of foreseeing the shells not being a big producer. Here is the filter here. The shells will go over this way now. I beefed up the tanks and pulled out the blood to urea because I think the shells are more important to have than the urea right now. I kind of got the urea under control, so I'm okay with doing this. I went ahead and put the bleed off tank here, but I beefed up the amount of blood to store because now we have this blood meal thing going on, and I want to store the blood more. I can always put more tanks here, you know. I could do some undergrounding with the red belt and just spam tanks down if I need to, because you know we're gonna need the blood. Now, I do have a commenter on here. That's fine. Yeah, we'll leave it there. This will be our shell collection tank, or warehouse. I'm collecting the shells only because usage. We're going to need it for we could use lime. That'll help with our coke. You know, kind of not consume as much coke. And then we have this quality numal meal for a creature we'll have to spin up later. And then this crazy YBCO monocrystal, which I don't know when that'll happen. But yeah, that's pretty far off. But at least we have it. Now, in the future, for body parts, I'm tapped out here, I guess you could say. I have this whole area I'm leaving open where I can pop up maybe over here, you know, like right here. I can actually collect some more body parts. And then we can have some pickups and stuff. And then we can send it over to like here. Some creatures got chopped up. We can send it to this spot. You know, we just pipe it on over, or belt it on over, and have it collected, or chop it up here. So this is all updated now to handle the shells and store more blood in the meantime, because I don't want to leave the blood on the table. You know, I don't want to just throw it in a pit. I want to use it, you know. But we have to have fail safes because when you're building, you're not using the base as it's intended, you know. Okay, so I think that covers it all. Let's get to work on those Xyhiphoes and get that etching solution. We'll get the blood meal first. We'll do speed up videos on each one. Look for the transitions, because then you'll know when I cut over to a new project. All right, let's get to work. All right, all right, all right. We got ourselves some etching solution. Don't get it on you. I'm pretty sure this is pretty caustic. You know, it does, you know, you basically dissolve the copper we don't need in a on a circuit board. It dissolves metal. Okay, don't get it on you, on your skin. The builds went well. I did my tried and true, you know, split here for the blood and the fiber board. And, you know, I found out that if I don't signal this stuff here, especially on this here, the input, it, because it's, you gotta separate, especially when it's down here. It doesn't create a block, and it's only the single, you know, train line. I understand it's blocks for chopping segments, you know, and all that. But in my opinion, and from what I've seen with trains, is that the more segments you have, the faster your trains can kind of shoot on through areas. You don't want to go overkill with signals. It's a waste of resources. And unless you have a very high throughput area, like with my yards, you don't want to signal too much. You don't want to over signal. And also it takes computing power for those things to you know, do their thing, because they're always hunting for trains, you know. But yeah, I found out that if I eliminate these signals, and it was on the hub actually, I had trains just sitting here. Yeah, I was trying to get out of here, and you'll notice that these little, you know, the colors tell you the segments of the trains, or the segments of the rail. And by pulling these up here, it forced my train, my engineering train, to stop right here, I think it was. Now, it could be this chain signal's messing with... Oh, I forgot that's a little marker. I think maybe this chain signal's throwing it off because it's reading down here. And for some reason, if there's a train here, it will sit until this train disappears. Even it's loading. So, I don't know. Signaling's a pain in the ass in this game. Anyway, oh yeah, let's get back to the blood stuff here. Yeah, I came up with this. I was kind of thinking about it. And I figured, well, one straight pipe all the way down. Blood on both sides. The blood meal is only like 15 blood a pop. And I think this is 30, the albium. So it worked out pretty good to just have the blood tank here and all that good stuff. And then the fiberboard, boy, it takes a while to, you know, to the machinery that build takes a while to spin these up. But, you know, once the initial buffering occurs, then it's, okay, bring me some fiberboard, done. You know, it's kind of back and forth. So that's, whoops. So this is how I found you have to do the mini loaders, is because we're not, these aren't inserters. They're, it's inserters to belt to inserter. It's just a reskinned I think six inserters are in this little package here, this little graphical package. So you have to have your filter mini loader set to set filters in the front, because the material will be sitting here in this mini loader belt, you know, because there's a little bit of belt on each one. And then it'll contaminate a train. So you gotta do the filters first. So this is a really good little setup here, and we're only using this for the Xyhiphoes right now. All right, getting to the Xyhiphoe build. Future build. I am not going to go this tight to the rail. I thought I was going to need a lot more room for this, right? Because these machines are huge. Well, I ended up, you know, I built this thing all the way out here. Got the ammonia here. I'm keeping an eye on it. There's a lot of ammonia being generated here. I don't know if this is going to stabilize and kind of sit there. What I think I'm going to do here, I might pop a stop here, or some rail, and have a second tank. When this ammonia builds up to a certain amount, it'll go to another stop, you know, a train stop, and then we could pick it up here. So I want to bleed it off and use it for, you know, the base. And I think that'll work out pretty well. But right now, this, you know, arthropod blood is building up. Oh, it's done. Okay, good. So it'll start to build up now. Yeah, it's filling the pipes up. So I'm a little disappointed. Hellmod, well, I really don't understand what's going on. Hellmod said to use, I think it's in here. Yeah, here it is. It said 18. Oh, 19. Okay. It said to use 19. I got 17. I don't think that 80%, because we have a better ratio. Well, we have the 80%er, but then I picked the one technology upgrade that guarantees one Xyhiphoe, which is going way back, is why I went with the zippers. I didn't want to deal with, well, if there's a loss, then there's going to be, you know, potential bottlenecks. And I didn't want to have to deal with that at that stage, right? Well, I think this 80% thing is pretty rare. I don't know. It's 20%. We have a 100% chance to get a Xyhiphoe. That 20% chance, I'm sure, is going to hit, right? Well, if I added 2 more machines to this, 2 more of the reefs, I think they're called, or the pools. And these are pretty cool. I like the, that's the Xyhiphoe in there. That's a big sucker. That's a huge Xyhiphoe thing. That creature. It's got these little arms. I think it's kind of reaching out to get phytoplankton, you know, to eat it. But we still need fish food for it, so I don't know. Go figure. But yeah, I could probably put 2 more here. Or it looks like I need 2 more. Because I have 2 slaughterhouses. Well, now 3. Yeah, what's going on with this? There's 1, 2, 3. Three of the slaughterhouses are not working. This is kind of annoying. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, so getting to this, I might add 2 more because there's plenty of the larvae. So again, Hellmod doesn't know what it's doing when it comes to these percent weirdo things, you know. So I kind of like this type design here. It's not expandable, and that's kind of tough. I mean, if I were to build this to a higher output or throughput, I'd have to stack them. I'd have to go 1 machine and space them out so that I could go vertical with it, you know, because I'm building in a horizontal fashion, chaining the machines together, you know, inputs to outputs. So I'd have to build vertical to add capacity, right? And this tank is way overkill. I know that, but, you know, who cares, right? I do have the opportunity to maybe pull the blue liqueur out of here as a trainable item and then move this build somewhere else and do the etching solution somewhere else. Well, I guess I could, well, I could rework this, but what I'm worried about is I'm running into my borax build over here. So it's kind of, that's why I'm kind of, crap, bad spot. But it is what it is. So I think we'll be fine because this is pretty quick. We have plenty, I limited this etching solution to 5,000 because I think we only have 2 things that are going to require it. We have the silicon wafers, whichever one, I think one uses it, and then we have the circuit board itself. So I think we'll be fine. I could just get 2,500 for one, and I put the little counter on there, you know, to limit the train so we don't deplete the tank completely. I'd rather have a couple. If a train comes here more often than not, that's okay. You know, we can always adjust it later if needed. So we have the, you know, fluid unloader here, and we got the solid unloader here. And oh, I gotta make sure this is gonna vent. I don't know if this is gonna. You know what? I just forgot. I forgot. Now, let's take a look at this here. Oh, look at that. It's stacked to 100. Holy cow. The vanadium pentoxide. So this is vanadium pulp stage 3. We can go into the codex. And vanadium. Here it is. So, for some reason... Oh, maybe I typed it incorrectly. Okay, we're good. Yeah, so vanadium pulp stage 3. And there's 2 more after this. So we haven't unlocked the technology to deal with the pulp stage 3. So I'm just going to vent it. who knows what we'll use it for later on, but, you know. So that is it. This is a very good, you know, thing. I like this a lot. So we can clear that out there. I think it stays in there. Kind of weird. So this will work for now. Now, if I could do stuff down here in this area to process the vanadium pulp stage 3 further down, but who knows? By then I might be rebuilding, you know, this whole thing. Who knows? I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of rebuilding you know, once we get the chemical science and all that. A lot of rebuilding coming up with that once we get the tech unlocked. So yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I think it's just intimidating because there's so many inputs and outputs and all this stuff going on. But once you start storyboarding this out, you put the machines down. I think it's important to get the relationships. And I spend a lot of time off screen theory crafting, and you know, I'll put it aside. I'll go to watch some YouTube videos, whatever. You know, you have to step away sometimes because and then sleep on it, right? And your brain organizes your thoughts, and you come back to it. So this is a lot of time spending on trying to figure this stuff out. But anyway, we have it. We've got the next ingredient. Now let's look at some future stuff here. We have, oh, I think if we go down this way, yeah, here. So we need the etching solution for, yeah, obviously that. Oh, lightly N and heavily N. Okay, so the heavily N is what we're doing. Yeah, so this, oh, and there is the other one. So yeah, we need it for all three. Okay, but it's such a small amount. It's 8.4 a minute. Yeah, I don't know what I built this to, but I don't know if I have it here. I didn't break it out. I broke it out here. Now this is only limited to the amount of Xyhiphoe or arthropod blood I'm producing from the Xyhiphoes. That's the limiting factor. So whatever that can do, and it's 3 slaughterhouses, so I might, if I have to add 2 more, I will. But for now, I think we're okay. Yeah, so we should be good. Oh, another thing I didn't realize, this recipe here is the 80%er. Because the technology upgrade research wasn't available in Hellmod. Well, come to find out that, and I didn't realize this because I'm looking at the Hellmod, not the machine. The, what do you call it, these pools, they don't require the filters anymore. And I think I remember looking at it, but, you know, I just forgot. So I had to, so what I did is I just did a filter inserter here for the fish food. And that's all I needed to export. So it really simplified this. And the larva, you see, look, the larvae are backed up here. So the larva is on one side, and the fish food is on the other. And I just used long arm inserters. It was kind of a mess because of the power poles and how they're situated and stuff. You got to put your inserters in first, then you got to deal with the pipes being in the way and all that mess. So it's kind of a pain, but as long as these damn things export, I don't care. I like aesthetics, but I'm not gonna, you know, spend a million hours on just aesthetics on one build. You know, I want to get it done, and as long as everything's working, I am okay with it. So, oh, looks like we're backing up now. Yeah, cool, good. Oh, and then the seashells over here, or shells. Let's see what we got. How many do we have? 2,200 already. Holy cow. Yeah, that'll be... Okay, so we're done with the shells now. That's what we collected for the spin-up. So next episode, yeah, let's... we'll work on... I think it's time. I'll storyboard the crazy discs that we have to do. The bakelite will be after that. And then we'll get this substrate. Or we could work on the bakelite. Yeah. We'll knock the bakelite out, and then we'll do the printed circuit board after that, because, you know, it's pretty much done. Well, this is a little bit of a kind of a thing here. I don't know how much bakelite I'm going to need, so I'll have to figure that out. Yeah. And then we'll knock out the printed circuit board substrate 2. And then we can start working on those N-dope, P-dope silicon wafers. Very good. All right, so I hope you enjoyed. the spin up of our etching solution. That's a big hurdle. But we have a bunch of big hurdles coming up. And once we knock those out, hopefully, man, we're getting closer. We're chipping away. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.